Welcome in Super Bowl champion,
Yeah.
Eric Davis. Eric, we appreciate you for joining us. Sure, you're getting a million questions about who's starting at quarterback in Week 18. Before we get to that, curious what you saw from Trey Lance in Week 17 in terms of his improvements and just his, or perhaps lack thereof, but just in his overall game.
I don't know. I like what I saw. I said, I tweeted it out while I was, right after the game, after watching it, that hey, he looked like a rookie, but he looks like a rookie who's ready to play. That's what I thought. That's what I saw. And rookies always look delicious at the quarterback position. I mean, they look like snacks. They taste like chicken. So you expect a rookie to come in and not do things. I mean, I personally, I never played against a rookie that just didn't look like a meal. But you know that it's there. The upside is there. He has to learn to play the game, and that's where Kyle and the rest of the coaching staff will come in to work on the mechanics and work on the progressions. But the pace of the game, the speed of the game, as it went on, you could see him get a little bit more comfortable with the pace. The physical tools are there. That's no question. But everybody comes into the game with the physical tools. But so you have to learn how to utilize your skills. Because the thing about playing in the NFL, it's not about being good. Everybody's good. Mm-hmm. Everybody's good. Every player is good. And even with Trey, when they talk about him, like no one is void of athletic ability, void of skill that gets drafted top 5. Okay. So it's there. So the question is, how do you consistently do your job? It's not about being good, it's about being consistent. And that's what he has to work on. But hey, like I said, he looks like a guy who's ready to get on the field and win football games. And guess what? You can't say that he can't do it because he's already won a football game.
Eric, one of the things I religiously follow you on there. I love your football takes, your podcast, everything. And one of the tweets that you had yesterday kind of sparked me saying, I got to reach out to this guy and hear his thought behind this. You said new information calls for new thought process for a game you have to have. Jimmy G won't be 100%, but if he's 75 to 80%, he has to start. 75% of Jimmy G is better than 100% of Trey right now because it comes with 100% of Kyle and 100% of the playbook. I know exactly what you mean right there. I'm not as definitive about it. I feel like 75%, it could go to 45% if Aaron Donald smacks that thumb one time and now you're in a situation. But it kind of elaborate a little bit more on the thought process of that right there.
Okay, well, number one, so you can't go into a game with the assumption if someone gets hurt.
Very true.
You can never do that.
Very
because
true.
I can say if Trey Lance goes out and twists his ankle first play, he's done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that. You have when you go into the game, what gives you the best opportunity to win? And that's why I said looking at, because right after the game, I put out there, you go with looking at this guy, and I said before the game, on my pod before the game, I said, Jimmy is coming in. Jimmy wants to play because Jimmy knows if Trey goes out, that was a must-win game. He came in and performed and got you a win in a must-win game. Now, for the first time, Kyle Shanahan has to make a decision because previously there was no decision. Trey was not ready to play. As much as people hate hearing it, Jimmy Garoppolo today, a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Trey Lance. We're not talking about potential. Right. We're not talking about physical attributes. We're talking about being an NFL-ready starting quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is a better NFL quarterback today than Trey Lance when they are both at their best. They're both healthy, regardless of what you think about Jimmy. So when I say that, I say if you have 75% of Jimmy Garoppolo, remember, you get 100% of Kyle. That combination has found a way to easily game plan against and handle the Rams. So you get that confidence in the play caller, the decision maker. That's the confidence that an 80% Kyle Shanahan has when he has an 80% Jimmy Garoppolo. So that makes him better than 100% Trey Lance when you saw how he was in the first half. He's a little tentative because you can't expect Trey Lance to understand all the nuances of what Kyle is trying to do, because it's not just about calling a play. It's not just about, as a player, understanding what your responsibilities are, especially for a quarterback. And I know it's like this for a defensive back as well. It's the intent of the play. What am I trying to do? What is this disguise trying to make this guy see? What are you trying to make the receivers have to do? What are you trying to make the quarterback believe is there and take away from it? And offensively, that's the thing. Why are you running this play? Who are you trying to set up? Those are all the things that Trey doesn't understand yet because he just hasn't had enough time. Dude played 2 football games in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, in 2 years, he's played 2 football games, and you expect him to come in and know what Jimmy Garoppolo knows after sitting in a meeting room with Tom Brady all of those years, after being within his offense all these years. That's why I say, I know people dislike Jimmy. I don't care. I truly don't care who plays any position. I don't care. I just want to win. And I'm just saying, I think that 80% Jimmy is better than 100% Trey. Now, if he's not there, there's no question. You roll with the rookie. I already started this off by saying I think he's good enough to win football games.
Yeah. Eric Davis, Super Bowl champion, San Francisco 49ers, with us here on D-Lo and KC. How much of the playbook do you lose when even though he's the heir apparent, he's still a backup quarterback? How much of the playbook do you lose?
Well, the question is how much. I can't tell you how much you lose. The question is how much has he learned? How much you have? As I was just saying, how much of the intent of plays? It's not just simply knowing the play. When I got it, and I always go back to myself and playing as a younger player, and because with all the, and I was asked, and I got into this because someone asked me about the DBs and the and all of them being in COVID protocol, and I told them early on, as you know, my first couple of years in the league, I would have had a hard time missing the entire week without being on the field and being in the meeting room and seeing and hearing and knowing everything. Later in my career, by the time we got to those Super Bowl teams, and 3, 4, 5 years into the league, I not only knew what I was doing, I knew what all my neighbors in the huddle was doing. I knew what everybody on the offense was doing. I wasn't playing the player in front of me. I was playing the puppet master up in the press box. I was playing against the offensive play caller because the pieces are just going to do what he tells them to do. So that's who you're studying. And I knew going into a game that's what I was looking at. So that's what I'm saying. How much of that outlook on football has Trey had an opportunity to start to absorb? And that much I don't know. But what I do know, there's no way it could possibly be what Jimmy Garoppolo has. Right. So because of that, Kyle is going to be limited. Even when everyone says, well, Jimmy's limited because of his ability, it doesn't limit Kyle's imagination. And he is able to reach into his entire playbook from A to Z, and he can't do. There's no way he can do that with Trey right now.
Right. Eric, do you think they've handled this situation, a quarterback situation, fine this year, or you have some criticism of it?
I don't think they handled the situation from the start. I said at the very beginning of the year that Kyle was creating a situation that was unnecessary. I don't think it was necessary for him to come in and say, I'm going to find ways to get Trey on the field. That we're, in training camp. He was already talking about that. There was no reason to do that. Right. You start off by saying Jimmy Garoppolo is my quarterback and Trey's not ready. You should have left it at that. When it was time to put him out there, you put him out there. There's nothing to talk about. But because he mentioned getting him out there and then he put him out there early on, everyone, the fan base, everyone's like looking for him, waiting for him. And I sort of thought it put Kyle in a situation to where it hampered him from going all in. And I kept saying there's nothing wrong with Kyle. I think Kyle is a tremendous coach. I think he's a tremendous play caller. But I believe that he had a foot on both sides of the line. He even said that it was a different skill set, a different type of offense that he wanted to run with Trey. So you can't do that. You can't have two offenses. It's not about the quarterback. It's about the other 10 guys in the huddle.
Right.
You can't expect them to learn two offenses. So, and you also can't have a backup who can't run the offense. So I think that situation was sort of mishandled. But with that being said, you win Sunday. I think this is a great job with all the injuries, with all the puppies playing on this field, with all of the controversy and the decisions that you had to have with the quarterback decision. You get into the playoffs. I think that's a very, very good job of dealing with the distractions, dealing with all the what ifs, and guiding a team into an opportunity to compete for a championship.
Yeah.
Eric, really tremendous stuff, brother. We appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for joining
Eric,
us.
Eric, real quick, like I said at the beginning, you probably hear it once a week, maybe once a day. Thank you for the pick six. Okay. Thank you. Always and forever. Thank you for the pick six. It changed everything about that game. So I need to personally thank you. And I'll never forget it.
You know what, man? I'll tell you what I tell everyone when I do hear that. I figured you would have done it for me, right? So we're even. We're even. There we go.
We appreciate you, Eric. Thank you, brother.